So we're going to just give another minute for people to join in, get comfy, and settle down. And then we should be able to get started with today's workshop. And folks, as you're dropping in, feel free to drop the region of the Buildathon you're participating from. The chat is open.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Would love to see in the chat where people are coming from. I'm Wilson. I'm on the base team. I'm joining from the US. Let's see.
Anshuman, I think, can you allow the chat settings for everyone?
Yep.
Cool. I think we have a few people who have already joined us, and I think there will be more people dropping in on the fly. So, hey everyone, I'm Aniket. I take care of community at Devfolio, and we are excited to partner with Base and bring this buildathon to you, Base around the world, where like the agenda and like the prompt for this hackathon is building for your community, and that's why you will see there are 4 regions for this buildathon, namely Africa, India, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. So wherever you're from, we wanted to build for the community, bring them on chain, we are really excited to see the projects that are coming for the hackathon. And as part of the buildathon, we are doing a few workshops to help you get equipped with the technology that's gonna make your life simpler when it comes to building things on chain. And for that, we have Wilson here from the base team who would be taking up today's workshop on Smart Wallet. Wilson, I'm going to hand it over to you.
All right, excited to get started. Thanks, guys, for chiming in the chat. See some people. Ghana. I lived in 2 years for Ghana. Mumbai. I've been to Mumbai. I love that city. Thanks everybody for chiming in. Also, I'm curious if you want to chime in the chat. Who is already familiar with Coinbase Smart Wallet or has used it before? All right, we've got Panama, Nigeria, Calcutta. Also been to Calcutta. This is great. Awesome. Use Smart Wallet. Oh yeah, we got Harpal in here. Harpal's a great base builder. All right, I'm gonna get into it. Feel free to keep chiming in the chat. If I'm looking over there, it's because I've got it on my second screen, and trying to keep up with the chat as I go along. Somebody installed the SDK. We'll talk about if you had any issues with it that we can go through. All right, so this is our agenda for today. I'm going to kind of talk about smart contract wallets at a high level and then go into smart wallet, Coinbase Smart Wallet specifically. So first, we'll talk about who I am. We'll talk about smart contract wallets, like why are they? Why do people care? The history of them. And then we'll talk about Coinbase Smart Wallet, and then hopefully leave plenty of time for Q&A as people have it. Okay, so who am I? I'm Wilson Cusack. I work on the base team. I do a lot of smart contract work. I've been working on the Smart Wallet project for the last year. This is my PFP. If you've seen me on Twitter, I have a slightly different one on Discord. I need to unify those, but this is me on Twitter and GitHub. Okay, so let's talk about smart contract wallets. What are they? So you can think of a normal wallet, an EOA wallet, externally owned address, as an address. It's a public-private key pair that can make transactions directly. And this is just an example contract, OpenSea's contract Seaport. And so when you make an EOA transaction, you are calling from the EOA and you're calling into Seaport. With a smart wallet, you have a smart contract sitting in between. And so with a smart wallet, a smart contract is the user's wallet, and it can have many signers that control it. So in this case, you have a signer that is an EOA calling into a smart wallet, and then the smart wallet is calling into Seaport on chain. So why do people care about smart contract wallets? Well, first of all, Vitalik has called this out in his 3 transitions blog post of like maturing the Ethereum stack as one of the key things needed to upgrade Ethereum, everyone moving to smart contract wallets. And one of the big things here is the security features. So because a smart contract wallet runs through a smart contract, you can add sort of arbitrary rules in that smart contract. And so you can have things like social recovery. You can have multi-sig requirements, M of N. You can have transaction limits, spending limit specification. You can have rules around which things can get called. And importantly, it also allows key rotation, where normally if you lose your private key for your address, you kind of lose control of that address and you need to migrate to a new one. With a smart wallet, if you're worried about one of your keys being exposed, you can just rotate your signers, but you still keep that address and all those assets stay there. So I think one of the key things is that users are going to expect the things that smart wallets provide, right? Like we have all these users coming on chain and they're used to their normal bank account that has some like fraud protection or has the ability to do spending limits or has the ability to require, two-factor authentication. And so I think as users come on chain, they're going to expect the things that smart contract wallets provide. And that's really why we wanted to invest in them. So looking a little bit at the history of smart contract wallets, they've kind of been around for a while, but they've really changed. And so I have up here pre-ERC 4337. This is an important ERC. An ERC is an Ethereum request for comment. And this is how one of the ways the Ethereum community organizes itself to make changes and improve things. I'll talk about ERC 4337 in a minute, but let's just talk about what smart contract wallets were like before that. So you had some features. You had Safe, you had Argent, you had some teams in this space doing smart contract wallets. And the key selling points were, like multi-sig security. A lot of teams were just using safes for like really important controls on their protocol. So you had like an M of N that people had to sign off on, and that's still used today. Account recovery. And so, people were already doing social recovery and some interesting stuff there. Argent's been doing stuff like that for a while. And then batch transactions. And I call it batch transactions. It's really about being able to batch many operations in a single transaction. And so if you have played with Ethereum much, you've seen these flows where, let's say you want to swap an asset. You first have to click an approve button, wait for that transaction to go through, and then you have to click a swap button. And that's kind of not a great UX. Smart contract wallets allow you to send many calls that you want to be made sequentially from this smart contract. And in that way, you can bundle multiple calls together and provide a better UX. Okay, so let's talk about ERC 4337 and account abstraction. So what do people mean when they say account abstraction? And this is from another EIP, this quote I have here. Account abstraction allows a contract to be the top level account that pays fees and starts transaction execution. So if we go back to our diagrams from earlier, you have an EOA that makes a transaction, you have a EOA here. And one of the historic problems with smart wallets is that you sort of had to have funds on 2 different addresses. You had to have funds on your signer address here so that it could initiate the transaction. And then you had to have funds on your smart wallet so that it could actually, use the funds needed for that specific transaction. And so account abstraction, ERC 4337, is a proposal to avoid changing how Ethereum actually runs, but give users a way to use a smart wallet as their primary account and never think about an EOA or having to hold funds anywhere else. And the way this happens is that you sort of introduce this new party that's called a bundler here. So now let's say I have my signer and I sign on my wallet app. This is sort of your off-chain wallet. And then that goes to a bundler. And the bundler is, it's actually technically on-chain. It just looks like a normal address, like an EOA. But this bundler is a node as well. You can think of it as a node that sort of receives user operations, bundles them together, and gets them on-chain. And this goes into what's called an entry point. And this is a canonical contract. Yeah, I see. Feel free to drop questions in as we go along. Feel free to stop me if there's any questions along the way. So the bundler sends us to an entry point, and there's like one entry point used for all account abstraction. There's different versions of it, but like all Coinbase smart wallets use the same entry point. And then the call goes to this account, and then from there, the account would make the call to Seaport or whatever. And so this entry point makes sure that the bundler fronts the payment, sort of the gas needed to get this on chain. They pay this up front. And then the entry point makes sure that the account pays the bundler back during the course of execution. And this allows basically users to not have to hold funds on an EOA in addition to on their smart wallet, but they can just sort of think of their smart wallet address as their primary address, as their only address, and everything else sort of like, magically works for them. And so we can think about, before ERC 4337, we have this, and now we have all these other features. And so because of this setup where you have the entry point making sure that the bundler gets paid, you can actually abstract this a bit and say, maybe the account doesn't pay the bundler back. Maybe a third party pays the bundler back. And so that's why I say we now have the ability to do sponsored transactions. And if you've heard people talk about a paymaster, like the Coinbase developer platform, CDP, has a paymaster product that you should totally try. You can give free transactions to your users. That's what that's doing. It's an ERC 4337 paymaster that's sponsoring that transaction. It's paying the bundler the gas that the account technically owed. You can also do pay gas with ERC 20s. Maybe you don't want to hold ETH in your account and you just want to hold USDC. The ERC 4337 unlocks this ability because you can sort of have the account pay USDC to somebody who pays ETH to the bundler, and the bundler doesn't care so long as they get paid back. You also have just-in-time account creation. And so these, if you've ever used Coinbase Smart Wallet or other smart wallets, immediately when you connect, you get an address. But you might check on chain and that address isn't actually there yet on chain. We don't want to charge users or have users have to pay gas immediately when they create their account. Their account is deployed just in time in their first transaction. And then we can also have non-EOA signers. And so this means sort of Ethereum private key signers. We can use alternate verification methods. And so you can do ZK signing. Coinbase Smart Wallet uses passkey signing, which we think is particularly exciting. But you can have all different kinds of signature methods. And then, sort of what we add on to this is, spend with Coinbase balances, sign in with Coinbase, spend with Coinbase balances. These are actually already on chain today. This is what Coinbase is bringing to the market with our Coinbase Smart Wallet. And we have our Coinbase attestation. We have our paymasters. Yeah, a single sign-on. I'll show you the UI in a minute. Maybe some of you guys have seen it already, but it's a single sign-on experience with no copy and paste, extension, or app downloads required. Okay, cool. Let me check the chat quickly. SDK for Flutter, Dart apps, not yet. We have a React Native SDK, but we do not have Flutter yet. I'm gonna also check in the Q&A because I think this is a different thing. Just going to pause here. What is a good process to migrate wallets to Smart Wallet? Explain how you would do this practically. And then can we add more than one loaner? Okay, yeah, good question. So I'm just going to take a pause and answer these questions. So the first one, what is a good process to migrate wallets to Smart Wallet? Currently, this is a manual process. We don't have any tools or anything for this yet. I think it's interesting to consider whether we should build a tool, but it'd be sort of a high stakes tool, right? You sort of have to put in your private key for whatever address you want to migrate. We'd have to automatically migrate all those funds to your smart wallet. And that's sort of a high stakes, serious thing. And we just haven't been able to take that on yet. And so yeah, it's manual right now. But I will say that there are new upgrades coming to Ethereum that will allow addresses to upgrade to smart wallets. And so you'll be able to take an address that was previously an EOA and upgrade it to a Coinbase smart wallet. And that's something we're especially excited about. I checked the smart wallet and saw that it supports multiple owners. Can we add more than one owner? So today, the security of the Coinbase smart wallet basically doesn't allow third parties to add owners. And this is just for security requirements. We don't want a random app to be able to change a user's owners. And so we probably should make some paved road for this where a user can state a very clear intention to add some additional owner, and we can work with third-party apps to make that happen. But currently, we only add multiple owners in the case of your recovery signer. So we're kind of getting into the Coinbase smart wallet demo. So I'll just say I'll come back to this question in a second, but I'll just say the overall idea here of like why smart wallets, why now? I think it's a confluence of the powers of ERC-4337. For us, it's about the powers of the fact that you can use a passkey and the fact that passkeys are now becoming sort of ubiquitous, like Google, Apple, all of these companies are helping push this forward. We have lower gas fees on L2s. Previously, smart contract wallets were sort of gas intensive, expensive, and users were sensitive to that. And now it just doesn't really make a difference. So it's sort of all these things coming together. And I think, yeah, we can sort of see the future is here. The future is now. And so let me get into Coinbase Smart Wallet and start to answer some of these questions. So I'm going to stop my share really quick and close those slides. And present again. Okay, so this is like a little demo app I have, WagMe Smart Contract Wallet. If you use WagMe, it's a great library for developing with Ethereum, and this is sort of a GitHub repo I have for using it with Smart Contract Wallet. So I'm going to just show what this looks like. So you have your Coinbase Smart Wallet. You click this button, and this is what it looks like if you are already have an account. You just approve the connection, and then the pop-up closes. And so this sort of ideally is something familiar, like sign in with Google or something. And if I do a transaction, I can click mint. And in this case, this is showing off the batch transaction feature. So in this case, I'm doing 2 NFT mints instead of just 1. And you can see these previews here. And if I click confirm, I'm going to be prompted to do a passkey off. And that transaction will go through. I can click view in wallet, and I can view that transaction over here. So we can also transact with a paymaster. So if I click mint here, this is the app has a paymaster that they're using to sponsor transactions. And you can see that this time the message says sponsored by WagMe Smart Wallet. And so that's sort of the name of my site. And so in this case, the user does not have to pay gas. One pretty cool additional feature is that you can pay from Coinbase. And so you can link in your Coinbase account. If I click this, I'll be taken through a connection process, and then I can spend my Coinbase ETH on Base. And so this makes it super easy for people to get up and running in their apps. A lot of the motivation for Smart Wallet was, looking at on-chain summer in 2023 and feeling that it was still too hard for users to get on chain. It was still too hard for Coinbase users to spend their assets on chain. And we tried to fix that. I think we've gone 10x. We need to go another 10x, but excited about where we've gone. I'm going to sign out here and show you what account creation looks like. So if I create an account, I can just click sign up, just do a simple passkey off. And now I am connected to the app. That's all. Ideally, we're getting your users set up with an account in your app in 30 seconds or less. They don't have to go on some side quests to install an app or something. So I was going to say that we do have this account recovery feature. And so if I go into this menu here, you can go through some account recovery steps. And what this will do is generate a mnemonic for you. So your recovery key is going to be a normal Ethereum address, and it's going to add it as an owner to your smart account. And then if you ever lost access to that passkey, you could use this private key that you write down and store to gain access to your account and add a new passkey. So Harpal, that is the only multi owner thing that we have today. But we're working on allowing people to have multiple passkey owners, and then also thinking on the best way to allow third-party apps to add owners in a way that's still safe and secure. Okay, I have more to talk about here, but I'm gonna keep answering some questions. Gonna just check it in here. Is the documentation integrate Smart Wallet? I use this and it turned to just be a wallet connect feature. I didn't create a new smart wallet for my feature users. Okay. So let's hop over here. So this is smartwallet.dev is where our docs are. And if you do the create wallet button, this tutorial, it should let your users create a smart wallet in the app. I'm not sure what exactly went wrong in your case. I'm happy to DM with you to check it out. But in addition to these, so these are the sort of raw docs you can think of. They talk about how to integrate with React and WAGMI and VM. We also have on-chain kit that makes it super, super easy to use Smart Wallet. And they have a lot of components that you can just use out of the box. So for example, if I go down here to this wallet component, this is sort of a live demo of what this wallet component looks like. And so this is how it would look in your app. This is the code to build it. You can see it's just super simple. And if I click, connect wallet, if I wasn't already logged in, I can sign out again. It would take users to that screen where they can sign up and create a wallet. And then, once they sign in, it's going to turn into this nice little button here. This dropdown also has some really handy stuff like for funding your wallet. And so if I click this is going to pop up this screen where I can buy crypto, receive crypto, or I can link my Coinbase account for that magic spend. For people who have been developing a little bit longer, I did want to call out. So we had to work on several new ERCs here to sort of allow apps to use the superpowers of Smart Wallet. So one of the challenges when we started out was that apps had no way to talk to a wallet about things like batch transactions, about things like Paymaster. So apps talk to wallets via the JSON RPC spec, and you have a set of methods like ETH send transaction that have a pre-specified set of parameters. And so we worked on with the community EIP 5792, which is a new app wallet RPC, and it's wallet send calls. And it allows an app to specify an array of calls that they want to send. And it also has this field called capabilities. And this is sort of an open-ended field where the wallet can tell the app, here's some capabilities that I have, and then the app can make use of those capabilities. And so that is how Paymaster is supported, for example. And so if we look at the Paymaster tutorial over here, you'll see that, let's see. I'm building this capabilities here. And so I have my Paymaster service, and it has this URL for my Paymaster service. And when I write contracts, this is a WAGMI hook that uses this wallet send calls under the hood. I just pass that capability in, and we make use of that automatically. One unique thing about Coinbase Smart Wallet is it's sort of this full stack product. And so even though I talked about account abstraction, all these pieces going on behind the scenes, we handle all of that for you. So you don't have to think about account abstraction. You don't have to think about a bundler. You can just use this as a normal wallet if you want to. All the existing normal wallet RPCs work out of the box. And then there's these additional features as well. One important additional feature is, for this magic spend support. So let's say a user has connected their address and to Coinbase, and they don't have any funds in their wallet yet, but they do have it linked to Coinbase, and they will be able to use that Coinbase ETH to execute that transaction. Unfortunately, a lot of apps will do a check and just see, does this address have any ETH? And if the address doesn't have any ETH for the transaction, they'll block the user from being able to push the button at all. And so we worked on a new capability called auxiliary funds. And so the wallet can tell the app, hey, this user has auxiliary funds aside what you can see on chain. And so don't block them from pressing buttons, because they're going to be able to get these funds just in time on the transaction screen. So a lot of what we think about for like best in class, smart wallet integration is making use of all these superpowers, making use of batch transactions, making use of paymasters to give sponsored transactions, allowing, checking for auxiliary funding, and allowing users to still go to the pop-up and trusting that they're going to be able to fund their wallet just in time when they get there. Let me just check over here. How does the auxiliary funds work in the case of testnet? That is a good question. Users should be able to, if you're a Coinbase user, you should be able to link your account and still on Base Gorley, or sorry, Base Sepolia, be able to spend ETH via the Magic Spend in just sort of a fake way that doesn't actually affect your account. So you do have to do a real link to your Coinbase account, but you should be able to spend Base Sepolia from Coinbase without actually affecting your real Coinbase balances. Can I have a button that sends one predefined token to a predefined address? Yes, 100%. And let me talk about another part of On-Chain Kit here. I think Tina's going to do a talk tomorrow on On-Chain Kit, so I don't want to steal too much of her talking points. But there's also this transaction button, and you can just specify. Let's look at the contracts here. So this is like calling to some contract. This is the contract address. It's calling the click function on the contract. And this one doesn't look like it takes any arguments. And so you just pass this into the transaction button. And now you have a transaction button for a user to click that's going to do that. And so you could specify, instead of the click that they had there, I want to call this other contract that I know of, or I want to send ETH to this other particular address. That should be super easy to figure out. Feel free to hop in our Discord or DM me if you can't figure it out. On the Smart Wallet Dev site, we have a link to our Discord, and this is the Coinbase Developer Platform Discord. Let's see. Can't verify my Coinbase account since Ghana is not part of Coinbase. I have some BTC and can't withdraw them. Got it. Yeah, sorry you're having trouble with that. That's not something I can help with directly, but happy to try to connect you to the right person if you want to DM me. What should let's see. Is there a wallet.coinbase interface where I could see my assets for Base Sepolia? That's a good question. So we had our link over here, and this worked on this is showing the Base Sepolia transaction that I just did. You can see that this is that. But Harpal, let me get back to you on that. I don't think we have it on the top level selector. I can't remember if there is some subdomain where you can see it. But good to know if that's important to people. And that just, I sort of glossed over the site earlier pretty quickly. When I clicked view transaction, it took me to this site. But for users that have the Coinbase wallet, the smart wallet, and want to know like, where can I manage that wallet? This is where you manage it. It's wallet.coinbase.com. And I can see here my connected addresses. And if I go to my assets, I can view the assets that are in all these accounts. It's pretty cool. You can connect multiple addresses. So I have a MetaMask linked here and then some smart wallets linked. And so this is where users can manage their account. And I think that this dropdown, this wallet dropdown that I showed earlier has this automatically. If I click on wallet, it will just take me to my wallet. For getting fluent in this, what should be the things which we need to get good in? Naveen, I guess if you're talking about getting fluent in Coinbase Smart Wallet, I mean, ideally, there's really little hiccups to using this. If you've done any Ethereum development before, if you've worked with other wallets, it should, work how you expect it to with minimal changes. If you have the Coinbase Wallet SDK, you just need to bump it and make sure you're on version 4+. And then you can use WAGMI VM, whatever libraries you're used to using. You can use those, and everything should sort of just work. So ideally, pretty minimal integration. Ideally, you don't have to become an expert in Smart Wallet. There's a few things that it helps to be able to know how to take advantage of, like the batch transactions, the Paymaster, the Magic Spend. But the base sort of using it should be super simple. Let's see. All right. Cool. Well, I think I've gone pretty quickly here, but I don't want to take people's time unnecessarily. We have this WAGMI smart contract site here that you can play with. There's on my GitHub, you can find a repo under the same name, WAGMI smart contract wallet. We've got our on-chain kit that we talked about, and then we talked about the docs here. And then, yeah, hop in the CDP Discord, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Warpcast. Happy to chat with you. Want to make sure that we're helping developers succeed. If you've tried it and had a bad time, especially interested, want to hear feedback of like, what do people love? What are people struggling with? we'll hang out just for another couple minutes in case anybody has any last questions or things that they would like me to talk about that I didn't get to. Yeah, let me just send the links on the links here. I'll send we've got smartwallet.dev here. My GitHub is just Wilson Cusack. Here, I'll pull up some of these things in a second. So this WAGMI smart contract thing is here. I'll say that on-chain kit is a better starting place. I made this before we had on-chain kit. And so on-chain kit is the one to check out. Sharing on-chain kit here. So on-ramp is, we integrate natively with Coinbase on-ramp. And so when I showed on-chain kit before, if we go back over here to the wallet component, and in that dropdown, there was this fund wallet thing. And you can see that this is coming from this little component here, wallet dropdown fund link. And so if I click fund wallet, this is going to, and I click buy crypto, this is going to open the Coinbase on-ramp product. And so it makes it super easy for you to integrate. You don't really have to do any integration. You can just sort of get it out of the box with our link there. I must integrate to Coinbase Smart Wallet for the hackathon. I don't think so. To be honest, I'm not running the hackathon, but I don't think there's any requirement that you have to use Coinbase Smart Wallet specifically. What was the EIP that was mentioned? ERC 4337 is the account abstraction one. And then, and I'll send that in the chat first. And then EIP 5792 is the one that we worked on for the new wallet RPCs. And we have a little site on that here. Is there any passphrase to back up in the smart wallet? So yeah, so one of the magic things of smart wallet is that it's just leveraging passkeys, and passkeys have pretty great recoverability. Passkeys are stored on your keychain or password manager, like Apple, Google. They're very invested in making sure that their users don't lose access to their, cloud-based keychain. And so when I, click in Coinbase Smart Wallet and I just signed up, this is sort of the end of it. I just do my passkey and that's the end of it. And if I'm using, my iCloud keychain, this is going to sync across all my devices. If I, lose my phone, I can recover my iCloud keychain and recover my passkey. And so it has pretty great recoverability built in. But we also have, like I showed before, this sort of advanced feature, this advanced account recovery. And so if you want to make sure that, you have another fallback option, you can go through this flow here. And this is more like what you are used to in other wallets, where you write down your seed phrase and you store it somewhere safely on your own to make sure that you can recover later. Good questions. I'll keep sitting for a minute because it seems like people are thinking of more good questions.
I think that's. Does anyone have any other questions? We can give it another minute.
Yeah, it seems like maybe we're done now. But yeah, please feel free to hit me up if you have more questions. DM me on Twitter, DM me on Warpcast, find me on Discord. If you go to this Discord, that is the Coinbase Developer Platform Discord, the CDP Discord. It's different than the base Discord, and there is a smart wallet channel there specifically where we're happy to support you. The recovery seed phrase can also transact. Yeah. The recovery seed phrase that is an EOA that can transact through the smart wallet as well. But the sort of the hot path, Harpal, is that when you sign in, using this recovery C phrase, let me just show what it looks like. So if I sign out here, if I come back, I can click sign in or connect, and I can click I lost my passkey. And then I can go through this phrase, enter my recovery key, and I'll set up a new passkey. And so users wouldn't ever, in our UI, use that recovery phrase to transact. They would just use it to add a new passkey. Can we hide at all the Smart Wallet UI and only present ours for signing TX? This is a great question, Roberto. And we have a product that we're working on for this. We call it session keys. And so this allows you to do like a one-time pop-up for users to set up a smart wallet. And then they can give a spending permission to your app. And so the app can spend, let's say, like 0.01 ETH per week. And the app can do that with its own signing key and not have to present a pop-up to the user on every transaction. This is not on mainnet yet. This is still in beta. We're auditing the contracts. And so this is a work in progress, but we are working to provide that functionality, and you can check that out. There's a guide in the docs here for it. In the standard interface, can we change the UI to other languages? Yeah, that should happen automatically. You should automatically get translation to local languages. Good questions.
Cool, folks. I think we can call this a day over here. First of all, thanks Wilson for taking up the workshop today. I'm sure like a lot of builders got the necessary knowledge they needed, and they can get started with smart wallets. If you folks have any other questions, as Wilson mentioned, feel free to drop into the base Discord. We can also just Anshuman can help just put that link again in the chat in case you're not a part of the Discord. And we also have 2 more workshops coming up tomorrow and day after. So tomorrow we are going to be doing base names with on-chain kit. It's going to be at the same time, so just block your calendars for that. And yeah, with that, would ask everyone to get to building, and just wanted to give out a quick shout out again to the base team for helping us out and helping out all the builders over there. So thanks, folks.
Yeah, thanks everybody for taking the time. Really appreciate it. Hope it was worth your time. Excited to talk to you more.
Awesome. And folks, like we'll also be sharing an email shortly with the video on demand link for this workshop in case you want to revisit any of the parts, or if you joined a bit late. So do expect a message on Discord as well as an email. Right. Thank you, folks.
See you guys.